This case is significantly nicer than the case that my Canon SL2 or M50 came in. So the case, I guess, might be the best thing that I have to say about this camera. I do like the case a lot. Okay, so let's just start with the shotgun mic. It's a shotgun mic. It is a powered mic. It holds the CR2032 3-volt batteries. You just kind of unscrew this here to put a new battery in. I'm really unsure why they chose to go with this specific battery. This is from China, so I don't know if that's, you know, if this is just a more available battery over there. I had to order these off of Amazon because I couldn't find any at Walmart. It does have the cold shoe mount, and on the bottom it has on the top here a plus 20 dB, a 0 dB, and a negative 10 dB. You obviously have your off switch and then your low and high pass filter. And it does have this 3.5 millimeter jack that plug into the camcorder. So obviously there is a mic input on the camcorder. All right, so let's just kind of set that aside for now. Okay, so this here is a macro lens. Gives you kind of a wide angle lens, also for close-up shots. To be honest, I've never really used it for that. We'll try it out though in this video. But yeah, I mean, it comes with the case, and you know, it's a macro lens. I would imagine this is definitely on the lower end of what you can get as far as macro lenses. This will only work with this specific camera. I think that's a pretty safe assumption. So it does come with these two batteries, and it does say, it says 2000 milliamps, 3.7 volt. It is nice that it comes with two batteries though. That definitely is a plus. Okay, so this is by definition a light. I'm not gonna give it any more than that. It does hold batteries in the back, 4 AA batteries. I placed those in there. But just to show you what this light can do, this is not a fair comparison at all, but this is my aperture light, cheapest lights that I have. It's about a $45 light. Again, I don't think it's going to be a fair comparison at all, but just I'll put the aperture on the lowest setting just to show you. Let's turn this one off, back into focus. Come on, focus. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's turn this on. So that is that light. We're struggling here. And now let's turn the aperture on. So let's make sure that that is on. Okay, so that is on the lowest setting on the aperture. Let's get rid of it. Bring it back. Get rid of that. I mean, you can barely tell that's even on, right? That's crazy. It does have the cold shoe mount on the bottom, and it has these extra cold shoe placement. I'm guessing that's where you can put the microphone. And this is a removable kind of soft light kind of deal. Okay, so like I said, by definition, yes, it's a light, but that's about all I'm going to say about that. So now let's, oh yeah, so it does come with this charging base and a charging cord. Now, I think this is a particularly weird charging cord. So I don't understand what would have made them say, hey, we should use this old charging cord. Maybe over in China this is a good cord, but over here the only thing I can think that I could use for this outside of this particular camera is my PlayStation 3 controller. Even the PlayStation 4 and probably the newer PS5 doesn't work with this anymore. So weird choice, but yeah, it does come with a cord. All right, so the camera does come in this little pouch. So on the outside, it is plastic. It does have your 1/4-inch thread on the bottom. It is QC passed, so I guess that's good, whatever that counts for. Battery goes right here in the back. I'm not going to put it in because I want to open it up and kind of show you some things. Cold shoe mount on the top. There's the IR light, which I will talk about in a little bit. That is the main reason that I went ahead and kept this camera after I purchased it. So if we open it up, we have the menu button. We've got the play button. We've got the, I quite don't know what that is. Your power button, your Wi-Fi button, and there is another micro SD slot right here. And this is your night vision button. And this also functions as a menu move around. I mean, they're plastic buttons. They don't feel particularly special. This is also a touch screen. The other thing about this too is it does give you some flexibility as far as, you know, using it to, if you wanted to vlog with or be able to see yourself, or maybe even there's a potential in using this as a webcam. I don't know. So you show you some footage of both night vision and the different settings, and also let you hear what the audio sounds like with the macro lens. I'll use the light just because it came with it, so you can kind of see. And then I'll come back and talk about whether or not I think that you should purchase this or not. So yeah, let's go check it out. It's kind of recording here to give you some idea of what some different picture quality and whatnot. So let's kind of zoom in on that there. So this is kind of the best picture quality that this camera offers. It is shooting in 4K at 30 frames per second right now. I won't know unless I were to compare it with my M50, which I know shoots in real 4K. I'm guessing this isn't true 4K. The picture quality, I guess, doesn't look too terrible for a camcorder. Yeah, so this is what it looks like in average lighting conditions. So what I'm going to do now is to turn all the lights out and do this in some lower light, and maybe just my studio light off, these overhead lights. So let's turn this one off too. There we go. So now all I've got on is my studio lights in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn our light on. There we go. So this is the light that came with the camera. That is, so I'm only using what came with the camera because I want to be fair in my assessment of this camera. And I know this is getting kind of dark, but that's kind of the point, to see what it's able to do. I think low light, I'm standing in a pretty dark area. I don't think it's terrible. I think if I had a better light on top, it might not be that bad. So, but like I said, I'm just trying to stick with just using what came with the camera. But I'm going to turn all the lights out down here, and we're going to use the night vision and see how it does there. So let's cut everything down. Okay, so this is in, all the lights are out in here except for 2 night lights. So this is, again, with the light that came with the camera, and I'm going to switch the night vision on now. I will say that the articulating LCD screen is nice. I do like that. So yeah, so I'm going to look around at some of the same images that I showed you before in the night vision. So there's some of the same stuff that, zooming in there. I mean, with the night vision on, it doesn't look too bad. So let's zoom it up there. think it actually doesn't do too bad. To be honest, I really like the night vision on here. I think the night vision adds an element to this camera that you wouldn't otherwise get with, you know, any other camera that I know of that's at this price point. I do like to shoot outdoors at night a lot, so this camera for me actually does have a use, and that is the big reason why I kept it.
No, this is definitely Bigfoot.
That's
shelter.
Bigfoot. Dad, a hobo cannot make that. Bigfoot on the
A
other
hobo
hand.
can't make
This stuff.
This is these people's gardening stuff.
Okay, so this was the video camera 4K camcorder vlogging camera for YouTube, AiTechny Ultra HD 48 megapixel digital Wi-Fi camera, 3-inch IPS touchscreen, IR night vision, 16 times digital zoom recorder with microphone, wide angle lens. I have no idea what they did, and I've asked 2 different people who are very good with cameras and technology and computers and everything. And I asked them what they could have done they have no idea. So basically this microphone only works with this camera. Now the weird thing about that is the fact that they don't sell any other microphones or other products or anything. So there's no reason at all for them to do that. It doesn't make any sense. So I can't take my Deity D3, I can't take my Movo, I can't take even that Takstar shotgun mic. It's a $25 mic on Amazon. It will not work on here. Nothing does. And those, and on all the ones I just mentioned, except for the Movo, the VXR10, they're all powered. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And like I said, they have no idea what they would have done to it to make it so it doesn't accept another mic. That's a big drawback for me. What I will say about this is it's got a nice bag. No, I'm just kidding. It comes with the 2 batteries, and I showed you the footage of my kids and I walking out in the woods with the night vision on. These batteries do actually last a pretty decent amount of time. And I think we were out there a good 3 hours. It still had way over half the battery life left. I think I think the batteries are solid. When I bought this, I bought my SL2 immediately after that. The only reason I hung on to this is for the night vision. Now let me explain something here. So the closest thing you're gonna get to another camera that's any good, that has night vision, would be to go and get one of these guys. An old GoPro. This is the 5. So what you'd have to do is go and get yourself an old GoPro, which I think you're probably minimum looking at about $150 to $200 there. Then you have to go and buy a IR lens, because there's some things you have to do. You have to go and buy a specific lens to put in there, and then you've got to take your GoPro apart and replace that. You're taking your lens off. So if you do all that correctly, that lens, those lenses cost about $150 to $200 themselves. So either way, you're still looking at $400, and you had to take your GoPro apart. I don't think it's worth it. I would rather spend the money on this, get a bigger IR sensor, or an IR light that would allow you to see a little further. 800 reviews. So 800 people took the time to review this camera, and over half of them gave it 5 stars. I don't know what, they must have really bad cameras over there. I don't know. Unless they just gave it away to 800 people and half of them decided to give it the 5-star rating. I don't know. I really don't know how that worked out. I looked at a couple different YouTube videos before I bought it. I kind of knew what I was getting into. I bought it for the night vision. So yeah, not worth the money. Stay away from it unless you want the night vision. All right, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope that it helped you out and maybe make a decision on either staying away from this or led you to it. I tried to be as fair as I could. All right, I'll talk to you next time. Later.